Hello world, welcome back to Art with Honesty, and let's just get into it because there's a lot to cover. So we are officially on the finale of Drawing My D&D Party. I'm so excited to finally be almost done with this series because I'm so excited to give these posters to my D&D players to see how they like it and how they react. So I'll probably talk about that later. So this video is all about a group poster, okay? Because I have drawn every one of our party members, Callista, Zircon, Asteria, and Thaddeus, in previous videos, and this video is meant to just be a design for a group poster so that everyone can have something, including the DM. I figured, what do I talk about when I'm drawing a group poster? Well, I could talk about the D&D campaign where it's all of us. All of us are involved, and I have so much to tell you. There is a lot happening in this campaign. Without further ado, let's watch some cool artwork while I tell you about a cool campaign known as the Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. How does this campaign start? Like every good adventure, like every good D&D campaign, we met at a tavern. And the reason we met was there was this giant boar terrorizing the steppes. The steppes is that beautiful bit of land I told you about in Thaddeus' video. It's like rolling hills, perfect for running and farming. It's a beautiful bit of land. We get told by the barkeep that Versi, the oracle, has foreseen great terror that will destroy the land of Thylia if us four heroes do not succeed in our journey. But to prove ourselves to her and to the people of Astoria, where the steppes are located, we have to defeat this great boar. This great boar that is terrorizing the town. Like any good adventurers, we spend the night drinking, a little hungover. The next morning, we set out onto this great quest, and eventually we do come up against the boar, and through a very heroic battle, a few bear transformations, maybe a little bit of healing, and some roguish behavior from Thaddeus, we do defeat the boar and prove ourselves to be worthy to be known as heroes. It's a small start to a long journey. Only gets longer from here. Having just proven ourselves to Versi and the people of Astoria, we must trek out to find her temple because she has more fortunes to tell us. We come upon her temple and discover that it has been overrun by followers of Sidon. Sidon, the great titan, and his wife/sister bride, Lutheria. We do not like the Titans. They are relentlessly cruel. And Sidon has sent these followers of his to punish Versi for seeing his downfall, for being able to predict that he may not reign supreme forever, and for choosing us heroes to defeat him. Not only has he sent his followers to defeat us, which was not very successful. We did kick their asses. He has sent a sea hag to punish her even further. And upon defeating the sea hag, her elemental water spirit, and a smothering rug that almost killed Zircon, we are able to get our fortunes foretold. And this is what Versi had to say. She could see Callista was a far traveler, not native to the land of Thylia, and has lost many people in her stay. She says if she finds the armory and weapons of the Dragon Lords, their lost treasure, she might be able to find her family and make her way home. Thaddeus is from a line of great power and conflict. He is a descendant of Sidon. His grandmother was a great sorceress who attracted his attention, and when she died, she was placed inside a locket in which Versi hands to Thaddeus now. Asteria has been cursed. Her family lineage is in danger. And the only way she'll know more about her curse is if she seeks out the gatekeeper Damon at the necropolis of Telemoch and finds out more about her destiny. Zircon is shrouded in mystery. She takes him aside to talk to him privately. We never know what they have said. And when he comes back, she tells us that we must seek out the crown and armor of the Dragon Lords, for it will fulfill his destiny as well. In addition to this, we must perform 3 great feats. Like many Greek heroes before us, like Hercules himself, we must perform 3 great labors. Firstly, we must travel to the necropolis of Telemark, get past the lich Damon, and find the Dragon Lord's weaponry. There is a minotaur that is plaguing the necropolis. He will be a worthy opponent. Secondly, we must light the fire of the Mithril Forge, which has long been abandoned and is creeping with many monsters. Finally, as our final great labor, to prove that we are worthy to be her heroes and worthy to be known as the heroes of Philia, we have to find the great horn of Balmatria, the silver dragon that led the last dragons of the Dragon Riders. She was slain, and to this day no one can enter her tomb without permission. Her horn has magical properties that can show us prophecies of which we have yet to understand. These 3 great labors is what begin our journey and what provide us better equipment, better knowledge to defeat Lutheria and Sidon, the Titans who are causing unnecessary evil. So in order to keep spoilers to a minimum, I'm just going to tell you stories about other things that aren't really related to the main quest. The reason I'm doing this is if you do want to play the campaign in future, you do not know enough about the story that it will impact your enjoyment of the campaign. Because I would highly recommend that if you do like Greek mythology and you do like Epic the Musical or Hercules and everything like that, that you do give this campaign a try. But before we even get into any stories, I guess you're wondering what am I drawing? Because like I said, I've drawn all the characters already, so you're probably wondering, what the hell is this? Art with Honesty, what are you drawing? So I am drawing Lutheria and Sidon. I'm planning to do basically like either an anime poster or a movie poster kind of inspiration where you have the 2 villains and, you know, the main heroes in the front, and it's like, come see the Odyssey of the Dragon Lords now in cinemas. You know, that's kind of the vibe I was going with, so I really did want them to seem like evil. But I also made Lutheria very attractive because I envision that because she's a master manipulator and that she's kind of like the seductress kind of person, and she's also based on Hera and Hades, that she would be quite attractive. I also included her to have a crown. Both the Titans have a 3rd eye because I figured that's something Titans would have, and I tried to make her very seductress, like very sexy, in order to kind of fool you into believing that she is a friend and not to be she's harmless. Meanwhile, she isn't, and she's a master manipulator. Whereas Sidon, I made to be more angry, more wrathful. He's based on Zeus and Poseidon, so I included some wave and lightning details in his pendant. He is shooting a lightning bolt at us because that was one of our first meetings with Sidon. He threw a lightning bolt at us and almost killed 2 of us. So that guy sucks. But I see him as more wrathful. He has horns because I feel like that would be something that I associate with wrath. And he also has a 3rd eye because that's what I see with Titans. The color scheme, Lutheria picked a lot more purples and blacks and silver because I see that as relating to death and to manipulation. Purple is also a color of royalty, so I feel like because she's so good at manipulating people and because she sees herself on this high platform, that she might be feeling like royalty. Whereas Sidon, I chose a lot more blues and golds because that is, to me, the color of the water and the sky together, especially with lightning. I see it more as gold, and I associate gold with like being a king, where silver I see more as a queen because it is kind of the lesser metal and queens aren't as important always. And he is more open and wrathful. So even though blues is supposed to be a calming color, I do think the ocean is also not to be trifled with, and because he is the titan of the ocean and of the skies, it feels right to make him blue. Their design overall, Lutheria has a crown because I see, like I said, I think of her as feeling like she's royalty and more powerful. She also has a couple of skeletons because she is the goddess of death and the underworld. I say goddess, I mean Titan. She's the Titan of death in the underworld. And then she's got a fur coat because I kind of associate that with villains for some reason. They're always in like lots of fur. And then she's also got most of her body showing because she does like to be seductive and manipulative. And then I also have her hand showing some of the skeletal forms underneath because again, she's the Titan of death. She's got some black fire because to me that is reminiscent of Hades in the Hercules movie where he's got the blue flames off his head. Sidon, I gave a lot less consideration into his design. He has a bracelet with a blue gem, and he has a pendant on his shoulder that clips his cloth together to represent Greek outfits. I did Google what Greek king wore, and it was very little, so I did try to base him off that. He's got a lightning bolt in his hand, and he's got wavy Zeus-like hair and a beard. His clothes not very extravagant compared to Lutheria, again because I see Lutheria as being more royalty than Sidon. The first story I have is of Mungo the Magnificent. So Mungo the Magnificent was a Cyclops, a young Cyclops, with a band of misfits called Corvetia's misfits, who were attacking a town outside Kingdom of Astoria, who was run by a gnome mayor, and they were stealing their sheep. Eventually we convinced Mungo to join the town, where he would have a family and a father figure in the mayor, and eventually Corvetia and the rest of the misfits disbanded and became the town's guardsmen. Mungo and the mayor send us fishing photos on Father's Day. It's very cute. The second story I have for you is about the Collector, a man who hunts down exotic beasts and trades them with royals for a high price. So, two things. Firstly, Asteria is a lover of animals, as most druids are, and so when she found out that this man is capturing all kinds of normal beasts and keeping them in cages way too small for them and selling them for an exorbitant amount of gold, she decided this man deserves nothing but the worst. And thus began the heist of the Collector. Second thing is the Collector also trades in exotic beasts, and Thaddeus and Callista share a common associate in the form of a female centaur. So when this Collector had collected this female centaur, we were all on board with the heist. And the heist went as follows. In broad daylight, having sent Zircon in to buy the beasts from the Collector, we cut a small, tiny hole into the tent. But before we even did anything, Callista cast Sending and spoke their centaur friend. She told her that she would become a mouse and to follow Callista. Callista would be waiting for her. And when it happened that she got turned into a mouse and ran for Callista and Zircon, who was waiting outside where the hole was, the Collector would have never known what had happened, and he still never will. For we snuck her out of the Collector's tent without paying the fee, which he would not let us buy her, so there was no way for us to get her legally, and we allowed her to escape. And to repay us, she joined us as one of the sidekicks. So this associate becomes more and more a friend every day. And as a result of our mischievous behavior, the Collector was unable to do business ever again, because he had promised many wealthy people in power that they would have a centaur woman. And when he could not deliver, he went into hiding. So we may have not done things the legal way, but we certainly put a dent in that establishment. My final story, and the one I enjoyed the most, is the Minotaur heist. We had met with the Lady of Coin, the Medusa, the one and only, the boss baddie, Moxina. And she said she would not associate with us unless we freed all the Minotaurs from their encampment, because Minotaurs in this world are treated like slaves, and we don't stand for slavery. Hashtag free the Minotaur, am I right? So, she decided that she would not associate with us unless we freed the Minotaurs. And more than likely, those Minotaurs would probably get captured again, but we were able to make a small impact in the Minotaur market. So late at night, around 12 o'clock, midnight, twilight, whatever you want to call it, we sneak to where the Minotaurs are being held, and we slowly try to free the Minotaurs in a non-destructive way. However, this quickly dissolves as we discover that the people who keep the Minotaurs are in this one building, and our resident pyromaniac, Zircon, casts fireball on the building. So, unfortunately, the plan to be as non-destructive as possible fails exponentially. And while Thaddeus is running around trying to open up all the Minotaur doors with Zircon as well, click, 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 so that the Minotaurs don't get too much burnt or afraid, because this fire is spreading, and it's spreading quick. Asteria and Callista are trying to find a way to put out this fire to not notify the entire town that they just tried to release all the Minotaurs, where these people consider Minotaurs to be slaves and extremely dangerous. To be fair, they are extremely dangerous, but this is not fair. So we're running back and forth between the river and the burning building, and Callista's got this thing that produces a lot of water, so she's just trying to like put this fire out. Well, Zircon and Thaddeus are quickly opening up all the cages of these minotaurs who are in a bit of a frenzy because there's a fire right there and they're bulls. Well, they're based on bulls, and luckily we did have a minotaur with us, Bullbug. So Bullbug just said, hey guys, you're free. There's no such thing as the oath of service that they're trying to keep us in chains with. Be free. And we managed to free all the minotaurs and also put out the fire and get away with the heist very effectively. And now we have a new very powerful ally. So very cool. It's a fine line to walk between showing too much and showing too little, but I think this is where I'm gonna finally end off this video and this series. Thank you so much for joining me throughout it all, and I hope you like and subscribe and you really enjoyed all of this. It was really great to have us. And I've been lying to you. I have already given these posters to the players and they were all very happy for them, so I'm glad that they liked. Anyway, I hope to see you all again next week because there's a lot more where this came from. Bye!